What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and as you guys can see from the title, we are back with another full 7-round mock draft. But for this episode, we're going to be traveling back to the AFC, into the AFC North that features the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, all four of these teams don't have a ginormous load of picks. They have a pretty healthy dose of picks, I would like to say. A lot of them are taking care of some of their needs in free agency. The first team that we're going to start off with had one of their best signings, I feel, in free agency with La'el Collins. Desperately needed some help on the line, and they got a guy who can really be a leader and be extremely beneficial and extremely helpful to their line. I mean, as we've seen, if Joe Burrow had maybe 4-5 more seconds in the Super Bowl, he's probably completing that pass to Jamar Chase. But we're not going to play the what-if game. We're just going to hop on in to the mock draft game. But before we do that, be sure to like and subscribe if you are not already. But with that being said, we're going to hop right on into it. Bengals don't have a pick till 31, so do bear with me. So just like the other two previous mock drafts, we're not going to be taking any trades whatsoever just because I feel like, the real owners and the real coaches can handle that on their own. But right away, we're going to head on into the Bengals' needs. And like I said, they took care of offensive tackle. They took care of a guard and getting a center with Karras. And they also signed Alex Kappa to their O-line. So I don't think they need to emphasize offensive line in the first round. I think they can take care of some of their other needs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at edge and we're going to take a look at linebacker. So we take a look at edge. Nobody really lighting up the board here that I would want to take. But if we head over to linebacker, Christian Harris is right here. And I really think he would be an excellent selection for the Bengals, just because the Bengals do need some help on defense, especially at the linebacker position. They do need some youth. They need somebody fresh. Christian Harris was a terrific player, one of those freak athletes. He's definitely going to be a great selection if he's available here for the Bengals. Bengals' next pick is at 63, so do bear with me. Like I said, we do got some gaps in between some of these picks. We're not going to be taking any of these trade offers either. So coming up on pick 63. Pick 63, now I feel you can safely, if you really want, if really necessary, you can take your offensive line. You can take your offensive tackle here if you want. I mean, there's a huge drop-off here, as we can see. We're at 63, and the drop-off is at 106 already. That's 40 picks, and we really don't got to take care of anything there. Again, another huge drop-off. This is actually one of the biggest drop-offs I've seen compared to some of the other mocks that I've already went ahead and did. So what we're going to do is we're going to run, I guess, a wild card here. We're going to take a look at some of the other positions that I had mocked. A lot of positions have already been taken care of, that it seems like. Let's see. Oof, good pick right here. Kingsley and Argway, I really like him. Excellent pick. My guy Sterling put me on his tape very early. And I feel like at this point, like I said, there's not an offensive tackle you can take, not a cornerback you can take, not an offensive line. Maybe you want to take a tight end here. Maybe. Personally, I think you can wait. They did just sign Hayden Hurst. So I think they can wait to get a tight end. There's some excellent tight ends in this draft, and I don't think they're going to be as selected as people think. There's been actually a lot of people that aren't pleased with this tight end class, and I'm actually surprised because there's some people who can create some vertical separation and act like wide receivers in this class, and that's really what you want in today's league. So let's take a look. I think we're going to go with Inagbe here. Just seems like the better pick, better selection. Bengals' next pick is at 95, so it's not too far away. So let's take a look. That was a wild card. I didn't expect to have to take an edge that early. I thought I was going to be able to take one in the third. But here we are in the third. So maybe we could take a look and see if maybe the selection's a little bit better. I mean, we're at 95. Take a look at some of the offensive line. Spencer Bradford. I like Lindstrom from Boston College. Like I said, they just threw me a wild card with that one. Let's take a look. Rashid Walker. Definitely gonna go offensive line here. Definitely. Let's take a look here. I think I'm gonna go Spencer from UTSA. So there you go. You're taking care. That's gonna be a depth pick right there. You're gonna be taking care of the line. Like I said, they signed 3 offensive linemen already, so I don't think it's gonna be that much of a need that people think. I know, the Bengals should have got one last draft, but I mean, it really doesn't matter either way because we've seen what Jamar Chase was capable of doing as a rookie, so it's completely fine. Signing 3 offensive linemen in the offseason definitely boosts your offensive line, and it's okay to get a depth pick. I feel in the fourth, in the third. So I think here the Bengals do need somebody that can help them on special teams, and I think they need somebody with some absolute burners. To be honest with you, like they need somebody that can fly down the field. So there are some guys available. Now they do have to be some big body guys if they are going to be obviously beneficial when it comes to special teams. And it's looking like Josh Jobe is going to be that guy. Jalen Watson. 6'3". Let's see. Josh Jobe. 6 foot. Oof. Jalen Watson might have him be here. I mean, there's obviously a significant drop off from 115 to 135, but here we are at 136. But you know what? I mean, Eli Apple isn't going to be that guy. We've seen him get burnt in the Super Bowl. Let's go Josh Jobe. Let's get somebody in there with some skills, somebody that can get you some help in coverage. Coming up on Bengals pick 174. This right here could be a depth pick, but it also could be where you want to grab your tight end. Oof. Some of them went quick. Went a lot quicker than expected. I'm really looking for the Bengals to target Charlie Collier. So I don't know if he's going to get selected right now. The Bengals' next pick isn't until 209. But I think right now is where I would want to take a tight end. Just because they only signed Hayden Hurst to a 1-year deal. You are going to need a tight end that's on a rookie contract, so that way you got a couple years out of him at least. Charlie Collier was an excellent tight end at Iowa State. If you haven't watched him, go take a look at his tape. Very excellent prospect. I'm actually surprised that he fell down this low on the boards. Even his stock, I'm surprised, dropped. It's coming up on pick 209 here. Let's take a look at what we might need. No, thank you. So you can do 2 things here. This is definitely going to be a depth pick. You're either going to go offensive tackle, obviously, because that's apparently the biggest need, even though they signed 3 linemen. Or you can go wide receiver. Now, I don't really see a wide receiver yet that looks too in demand for the Bengals. I mean, Charleston Rambo kind of does the same as what 2 of the Bengals wide receivers already do. So I think you do want to go depth. We'll go with the Florida guy, Gene DeLance. Coming up on pick 226. 226, I have listed as trench depth. Interior defensive line is a need down here at the back end. So it wouldn't be that bad to get somebody that can help you guys in the trenches. You can never have too many guys in the trenches. I really like Farrell out of LSU. I haven't watched a whole lot of McCall's tape. I really like Farrell out of LSU. I'm going to go with Farrell out of LSU. Excellent prospect. And he is a savage in the trenches. Now, coming up on the Bengals' last pick, this is where I think the Bengals need to target a need that's going to be a sleeper need. They say they got a need for wide receiver, but I do think they desperately need someone to be alongside Joe Mixon. And why not select somebody from the same alma mater at OU with Kennedy Brooks? So as usual, I'm going to put them right here. Let me know what you guys think of the Bengals selections. Like I said, they did throw a little bit of a curveball at me in the first couple rounds, but nonetheless, I think it's a pretty decent draft. Moving on to the second team in the AFC North on this episode. We're going to be focusing on Big Trust, Big Woo, the Baltimore Ravens from the bank. One of my favorite teams, truly one of my favorite teams to watch. Outside of the New England Patriots. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I've been rocking with Lamar since he was at Louisville. Like I said, one of my favorite teams to watch. They got a pick early at 14. They can definitely make moves with this pick if they really want to. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with it. But let's take a look at the interior defensive line. And just like I wanted, looks like this one's going to go a little bit better. Kind of like how I planned it. We're going to go with Jordan Davis. There's no way you pass up on an athlete like Jordan Davis. He was the second best combine athlete to ever participate after Calvin Johnson. That's insane. Like, that's truly insane. I don't understand what this concern is about his snap count. I really don't see a concern for it. I actually would appreciate a guy having fresh legs. I mean, really, it's not his fault that Georgia was blowing teams out of the water, so they were forced to take him out of the fourth for health reasons, to protect him. Let's take a look. Now, this is where they can take care of cornerback, especially an outside corner. This is desperately what they need. They need a guy who can play the outside while Humphrey mans the slot. They got Tony Jefferson. They got Marcus Peters available. A lot of physicality, so I think they're going to stay with the physical route. Now, you can go that with both of these guys right here, with Tariq and Roger McCreary. I think Tariq is going to get that boost, though, because of his 4.2. I mean, that's the way I'm going to look at it. There's no way. Tariq Woolen ran an insane 40 time. For their third round pick, you can definitely get yourself some trench help. I think there's going to be some picks. And like I said, this is the one that's really seems to be going my way. Derek Kennard available right here at 76. No way you pass up on that. Go ahead and get yourself some protection for Lamar. Get yourself some protection for JK, for Gus Edwards. Next pick coming up, let's take a look, is going to be in the fourth as well. We got a lot of fourth round picks. I think 4 fourth round picks are coming up for the Ravens. So they can really take care of a lot of needs in the fourth round if they wanted to. As we can see, I mean, they're one of those teams that kind of has a lot to fill. I don't really see it that way just because a lot of guys were injured. But let's see. In the 4th round, let's take a look at some of the edges that are available. And I think you can honestly take Myjai Sanders right here. I mean, he might be available here, but I think comfortably you take Myjai Sanders. I know people were concerned because of how he showed up to the combine, but he was dealing with a sickness from what I read. I'm hoping he can put back on all his weight and he can still be the player that he was, because he was a beast at Cincinnati. He was one of those guys on that defense that was really, really tearing it up. And I'm hoping, really hoping he can get back to the same form that he was in. Heading back over to the offensive line. Like I said, these are going to be depth picks. They have so many picks in the 4th that I think you can comfortably grab guys to help you out on the line. Let's see. It's a big drop off in the tackles. I mean, do you take another offensive lineman? I mean, we could even take a wide receiver right here, to be honest. Nobody really too mouth-watering just yet. Maybe you don't. Let's see. Definitely think you got to go trenches here. I do think that. And I think you're going to have to go... At this point, you got to go best available. Or actually, let's take a peek. I think you can wait. You can also wait here. Linebackers are really not a need. They have a lot of linebackers in Baltimore, so I'm not seeing the whole need for that. Maybe you get a safety, but even then... I'm stupid. I'm really stupid. I think we just head back to the trenches. Take best available, which is going to be Spencer. Maybe we take Alec Lindstrom. 10. They kind of need a guy that can move. They need a guy that's really mobile. That way when comes out the blocks with Lamar, I'm going to take Lindstrom from Boston College. Terrific athlete. I really like what he put on tape. And like I said, as we can see here, 119, 128, a lot of picks in the 4th round. Let's take a look. Edge is definitely going to be... They only have, I think it's 3 edge rushers. So you can take a edge. I do want them to take a running back at some point, just because of what happened last season. I do think you need to have a backup. Just because, everything's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Don't need to take a wide receiver here. But I think they can wait for a running back. I think they head to the edge again. I just don't see linebacker being a need. I don't see tight end being a need with Mark Andrews there. Safety, I mean, they already have a couple. I mean, they just signed Marcus Williams. Literally still got Tony Jefferson. I mean, maybe you take a safety to replace Tony Jefferson, but the drop-off is just so significant that I don't think you do. I think you take another edge, because they really do need guys on the edge. And you can never have too many players in the trenches. Truthfully, you never have too many. Now, 4th round pick. Let's see. And they actually have more than 4 picks. I'm taking a look at it right now. They have a lot more than 4 picks. I mean, with him available here, I think you go for it. I like Zamir White. I was going to wait for Hassan Haskins, but Zamir White being there, that would be an excellent pick at that selection. With them still having 2 picks, as we can see right here, in the 4th, you can still do a lot. I think they do need a wide receiver, though. I think they need a big body guy. They need somebody that can help them out You know, if we just take a look real quick, Hollywood and Duvernay are under 6 foot. Sammy Watkins is 6'1". Miles Boykin is 6'4", but Miles Boykin really doesn't move the needle, in my opinion. So I think you do need a big body wide receiver. You can go Justin Ross. You can go Tyquan Thornton, whose stock is probably gonna go up. You can also take a guy like Charleston Rambo. I think right here we're gonna take Justin Ross, just because I liked what he did with Clemson. I know because of the whole DJ Ukulele thing, his stock did drop off a little bit, but he can still play. And at pick 141, this might be another depth pick, to be honest. Like I said, we already took care of running back. Already took care of wide receiver. Might have to just go ahead and run a depth pick on offensive tackle. And we're going to go Deesh from Arizona State, who tested really well at the combine. I was watching some of his combine performance today, and I was really blown away. So we're going to go with Deesh. And I think their next pick isn't going to be till the 6th round, so definitely bear with me, folks. And here we are at pick 196. This is, I believe, the last pick. And, I mean, there's just so many talented safeties. Like I said, I really can't believe that Verone and Smoke are really down here. I don't even think that they're going to be down here when it comes time to draft. Like I said, if they're here past the 3rd round, that's extremely disrespectful to both of their skill levels. So with that being said, like I said, I don't think they're going to be here. But I think you take Tariq Carpenter to learn from Marcus Williams, learn from Tony Jefferson, have a little bit of depth, have a little bit of youth. Definitely utilize him as well on special teams. Getting to the end of the draft here. And as usual, folks, we are going to have the picks directly here for you because the screen just loves to black them out. But nonetheless, like I said, a lot of picks in the 4th round, a lot of needs being able to be taken care of. Let me know what you guys think of the Ravens picks in the comments below. Now, the 3rd team we're going to be focusing on in this episode has probably given up maybe the 2nd most amount of picks this free agency, and that is the Cleveland Browns. But was it worth it? I mean, they got Deshaun Watson, probably a top maybe 7 quarterback in the league, no doubt about it. His talent level is there. I mean, I'm an OU guy, so of course I got to ride for Baker. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson is a lot better than Baker Mayfield. So I understand the move. At the end of the day, the league is just business. This was a better business decision. But the Browns did give up a whole lot. They don't even have a 1st round pick, actually. Their first pick actually isn't until the 2nd round at pick 44. Nonetheless, though, they do have picks in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th multiple times where they can take care of some of their needs. This is a team that's very young. They have a lot of players that are very young. They just haven't been able to showcase what they can do, whether it be because of the COVID season, whether it be because of injuries. If they can get a healthy team, I think the Browns can be a lot better. They are going to have to fill up some gaps, though, especially at wide receiver, at cornerback. Definitely some needs. But we're going to take care of those in this draft. I mean, that's what we're here for. Just like the other two, we're not going to be taking any trades whatsoever. And I mean, as you can see, like I said, the Browns, they don't have a lot of needs, but they do, if that makes sense. So let's take a look at edge. Let's see what's available. Interesting. I didn't know that Arnold was going to be available. Let's take a look at interior defensive line. And we're going to go with DeMarvin Leal. For sure, we're going to go with DeMarvin Leal. 2nd biggest need on the Browns board is an interior defensive line. DeMarvin Leal is probably top 3 on my board when it comes to interior defensive line, so you can get him in the second round. Excellent pickup. Be sure to like and subscribe too. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you leave a like. Be sure to comment as well if you like or dislike any of these picks. I really enjoy the feedback. I really do. So here we are at the edge. I mean, let's take a look. Let's take a look at linebacker. I think they can retain Clowney. I think he can come back. Ooh. Do you take Darian Beavers? Do you take Leo Chenal? Darian Beavers, Leo Chenal. I like Darian Beavers a lot more. People are going to call it bias just because he's from Cincinnati. I mean, Leo Chenal did test a little bit better. You know what? Wild card it. Why not? Leo Chenal, like I said, he's probably a top 5, maybe number 5 linebacker for sure. Tested very well, though. We got another pick coming up. Like I said, multiple picks in the 3rd, multiple picks in the 4th, multiple picks in the 6th. So they can definitely fill out some of their needs. Line isn't a big need for the Browns. I know it's there, but I don't think you really got to deal with it. Tight end, I think they can definitely take. I wouldn't be surprised. This is definitely a tight end or an edge pick. This is a big drop off. You can get Myjai Sanders. You can get Malone. I mean, do you take the Ohio State guy now? I mean, they do like their Ohio State guys. Yeah. I think we let them take their Ohio State guy now. They are going to need, like I said, they're going to need some help. They're going to need another weapon. Most definitely. And I think this is going to be the pick where you have to address that, whether it be a wide receiver, whether it be a tight end. Let's take a look at some of the wide receivers. Alec Pierce, Jones. I think you can wait. There's a guy that I want Cleveland to take a peek at. I don't think you can wait, though. Only because they don't have a pick after this 4th round pick until the 6th. So it's kind of a pick your poison in a way. I mean, we've already taken care of the defensive side of the ball. So like I said, this is going to be a weapon either way. Oof. I think with Dulcich still here, you go with Dulcich. Tested very well. He was one of those guys that ESPN was really highlighting when it came time to the combine. So we're going to see if we can nag a sleeper wide receiver in the 6th round for Cleveland with the next pick, really. But like I said, bear with me. Do have a round to go. Coming up on the first of the 3 6th-round picks for the Browns, like I said, we're going to take a look. We're going to see if we can find a sleeper wide receiver in these rounds. And there's actually going to be a couple. Tyquan Thornton here, Michael Woods, Charleston Rambo. I don't think you take any 3 of these guys if you're the Browns. I think you take Tyquan Thornton. 202, 223, 231. Let's take a look at some of the CBs that are also available. I think you got to go wide receiver here. No question. Get Tyquan Thornton. Nice speed. He'd go great alongside Amari. Next pick is going to come up pretty quick at 223 and then at 231. These are both going to be depth picks, definitely for Cleveland. Secondary for sure. I mean, Denzel Ward definitely solidified his spot. But Greedy Williams he's raising a question mark for me. I was very, very high on Greedy Williams coming into the league. So here we're definitely going to take secondary, safety, or a cornerback. They got 2 here. I mean, like I said, this is going to be one of those teams. If these guys are available, I would love to see them select one of them. We're going to go with Smoke Monday on this one. I don't really see them falling this far. But, I mean, for whatever reason, if they do, I mean, those are absolute diamonds in the rough if they fall this far. Super steals is what we'd probably have to call them. Take a look at some of the CBs. And we're going to go with the NCAA guy out of Missouri Western, Sam Webb. And I believe that's going to conclude all the picks for the Browns. Like I said, Browns are making moves slowly but surely. Take a look at some of the picks right here. DeMarvin Leal, Leo Chanel, and Tyreek Smith help you on the edge. So, with that being said, here we are with all of the picks for the Cleveland Browns. You took care of business with your first 3 picks. Got some depth guys in the last 4. Tyquan Thornton, you're hoping can pan out next to Amari Cooper. We'll have to see. Like I said, this definitely would be a way or a route I could see Cleveland taking it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, and lastly on this week's episode, we are going to focus on probably the team I feel has the least amount of picks but needs to do the most in this draft, and that's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they signed Mitchell Trubisky. I don't know if that's your long-term plan. I know you got Dwayne Haskins as a backup. I don't know if that's your long-term plan. Now, there have been ruffles in the feathers with the whole, they don't know if Pittsburgh's going to go with a quarterback in the first round. I'm still mentally there for Pittsburgh. I really don't think Trubisky is the answer. I mean, obviously, as you can see, quarterback just immediately dropped off. If you go back and look at the mock 1.0 and 2.0, QB was literally the first need. But you could definitely take care of the offensive line here if you really wanted to. There's nothing wrong with grabbing a top 25 offensive lineman in the draft, especially if you know that you can get a quarterback a little bit later. So, I mean, we're going to take the risk. We're going to go with an offensive line first, just because that's also a big need for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Outside of quarterback, you kind of need somebody to protect the quarterback. But nonetheless, you need somebody to protect Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris is going to be the centerpiece for that offense. And I think this is good. Like I said, they could trade up for a QB. I don't really like doing trades. Pittsburgh could definitely be a team that trades up after they select a lineman for a potential quarterback, especially for a guy like Kenny Pickett, who I think already went off the board. But we're going to take a look right now at pick 52. And it looks like a lot of quarterbacks went off the board quick. Even Matt Corral went off the board fast. That was a shock. I mean, not really a shocker because it went to the Falcons. And as anybody who follows me on Twitter knows, I've been high on Matt Corral going to the Falcons anyway, so I'm not that surprised. A little bit shocked, though, that I didn't have a quarterback selection here. So it looks like they're going to have to ride out Mitchell Trubisky for a year. Dwayne Haskins if you have to. I mean, the quarterback class next year is probably going to be a lot better than what they have to offer this year. Not saying that there's bad quarterbacks, because you could take Carson Strong here if you really wanted to. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad pick, but I just don't think he fits the scheme that Pittsburgh wants to head in. It would be nice, though. I mean, he has a cannon of an arm. But we're going to take a look at some of the other positions. Cornerback also. They need a cornerback. Let's look at the defensive line. I might just go cornerback with this second pick. Mathis being there is kind of nice, though. They don't need a wide receiver. I think Deontay Johnson made a name for himself last season. We all know who Chase Claypool is. If you don't know him from TikTok, you definitely know him from catching big body passes. He's kind of one of those receivers that's really opening up the lane for, the guys that win 50-50 balls and can just go out there and just be a big body. I mean, do you really want an edge at this pick? I mean, we might just have to go QB. I think QB is probably going to be the best way to go. Carson Strong. Why not? Strong arm. Throw into Claypool. Throw into Johnson. Like I said, I don't think Trubisky. I don't think Haskins Either of them are long-term plans. So why not take a guy that could definitely help you out long-term for sure? I mean, we're talking about a minimum 5-6 years at least from Strong. Steelers do not have all day. Lots of trade picks. All right, so let's take a look. Interior defensive line, cornerback. Let's look at the best available here. Let's take a look. Who's still on the board? Tight end. Oof. Let's take a look at the defensive line. Not that much of a drop off. You can take Zachary Carter from Florida if you really want. I think they do need a cornerback though. Like I said, they're not a team that has multiple picks in each round. They literally have a pick in almost every round but the 5th. So huge drop off in the edges. I don't think we go that route. Maybe you go somebody that can help you out. They only have one true center. Maybe you grab somebody that can help you out on the line. Somebody that's decent enough to play multiple positions. Let's look at the offensive line. We're going to go with Cole Strange out of Chattanooga. Strange, excellent prospect as well. I didn't want to take the other two linemen just because we'd already taken them on previous teams. We don't want to be a copycat just because we already do that with some picks. But at that point, you really could choose between the 3 linemen if you really do need that help. Next pick definitely is probably going to be in the secondary. If not, it's probably going to be in the middle of the defense, but definitely a defensive pick. It's going to be cornerback, linebacker. Now, like I said, I pick 138. This is definitely going to be a linebacker, cornerback pick. Let's take a look at what we have on the board linebacker-wise. Oof. I mean, there's no way I'm passing up on Jack Sanborn here. I can't believe that he's even going this low. I think he's an excellent prospect, actually. I like what he's done on tape. I can't believe he fell this low. So here we are at pick 208. This is definitely going to be where you go ahead and select a cornerback for sure. I know I've been saying that multiple picks, but we're going to go best available right away. Cornerback is a need for the Steelers. I'm very happy. Like I said, I'm actually happy that they got to take Sanborn right here at 130. This was a steal, I feel. So as we can see, got another pick coming up at 225. And I think they're going to have 2 more in the 7th as well. I'm sorry, this is the 7th, but they're going to have this one and another one in the 7th. So why not get some depth? Offensive tackle. I mean, we already took an interior offensive lineman. Let's take a look at some of the wide receivers. Maybe you get a guy that you can play around with. And this is one that you can do that with. You can play him on the in and the out. I think playing him on the in is going to be a lot more beneficial in Eric Enrique. I completely botch his name every single time I talk about him, but he would be an excellent slot receiver, I felt, the next level. I don't think he's going to be that beneficial on the outside, but I think if he plans on moving full-time inside slot specialist, he can make a lot of money in the league. And with the last pick, for sure, for the Steelers, there is no way I'm ignoring their needs in the secondary. Like I said, I don't think they're solidified whatsoever in the secondary. Let's take a look at some of the safeties. Let's go Bubba Bolden. I was high on Bubba Bolden last season. I thought he was going to come out and be in the draft last year. That wasn't the case. He did go back to Miami for another year. I think it hurt his stock going back another year, but on tape, tremendous player, tremendous athlete. So there you have it. The final picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That is gonna do it for this mock draft. Let me know. Let me know what division you guys want to see next in the comments below. I do have a full first round mock draft again coming out very, very soon. Road to 100 subscribers, so make sure you click that subscribe button. And who knows, I'm really thinking about running a giveaway during the NFL draft. Thinking about giving away a rookie jersey to the lucky winner. So make sure you give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter. Both of them are in the description below. But with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.